we're just talking real to you right here because, we're not talking about something we don't know about.
That's right.
Or we haven't been through.
That's right.
And so, as we're talking to you, I want you to go through and it's painful. I know. Mm-hmm. We both know. We've been through this.
Yes.
We've both suffered abandonment issues in different ways. I think we've covered the gamut probably between the both of us. Mm-hmm. But I want you to really, I know it hurts, but I want you to look inside yourself and see where you can pinpoint this place where you've experienced this physical abandonment.
Welcome to Truth Talks with Yolanda and Angela. It's 2017.
Woo! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, sis!
So excited about 2017. Wow. All the great things are going to happen.
So much has happened. It's been a while since we've gotten a chance to talk to our folks out here, our viewing audience. But we want you to know Ishmael is very much alive and well. And if you haven't picked up your copy of the Ishmael Syndrome, I implore you, please, go to truthpuzzle.com and get your copy today.
Yes.
Today,
Absolutely.
Angela, can you believe we now have a new president?
Yes, we do.
We are
Donald
giving
Trump.
thanks for Donald J. Trump.
Yes.
Lord, thank you, Jesus, for change, for new season.
Yes.
But with this new season, Angela, I'm afraid to say there's so much unrest, despair.
It has brought out all the issues that everyone has in our country and individuals. So we're right on time with this message. Absolutely.
Ishmael's syndrome. Please, if you are not aware of who Ishmael is, now's the time to reacquaint yourself with your Holy Bible. Starting in the book of Genesis, chapter 16, and let the Lord lead you. Just read Abraham's story and it will enlighten you and perhaps even awaken your spirit to what these conversations we're having are all about.
And that reminds me, Yolanda, we also have a lot more other previous recordings about Truth Talks on YouTube. So if you haven't watched if you're tuning in for the first time, maybe go back and watch some previous
absolutely. Go back to
sessions and recordings. That way you can get the, full puzzle, a little bit more
absolutely
of the picture of the puzzle and where your piece comes in.
Yes, because each of us have a piece that we're seeking to complete our own pictures. And each person's puzzle piece may be shaped just a little different. The circumstances may be a little different. But trust and believe we all have a missing piece. And it's with that missing piece we are complete.
Yes, and we're here to bring completeness and wholeness.
So with that being said, let's get excited today about the conversations we're about to have. We're going to delve into a topic that's actually underlining the book, if you will, and it's abandonment. There's 3 aspects of abandonment, Angela, we like to talk about today, and that is the physical aspect, the emotional, and as well as the spiritual aspect of abandonment. But before we can even get into this discussion, we need to define the word abandonment. So let me define it for you. Physical abandonment specifically, because that's going to be the conversation today, is the act of physical abandonment as we know it is more common occurrence than our today's society, than more people realize. It remains an understudied social phenomena. Abandonment is the most prolific and painful wound of all time, and considering parents that have children out of wedlock, parents that have children that are addicted to drugs, abandonment by far is the number one precursor, if you will, for mental disorders and a number of other ills that we see in our society today. Each and every lost experience adds a pain of a layered pain to our total existence. In other words, what I'm saying is that when we think of abandonment, whether it be first that the parent left as a child, if a baby is experiencing a mother or father who's left, that becomes one layer of pain. And as life progresses or as that child develops, that one layer develops another layer.
And, and the reason that being Yolanda is because now everything that they perceive and everything they go through is seen through that layer.
Right.
So now everything has become distorted.
It's their filter. And what happens is because there's no, when an infant is born, they don't have a way to cry or to say, I'm hurting, comfort me, or anything like this. Their way is to internalize it as to be, I just alienated. I'm left alone. And those feelings, if you will, sometimes linger and cause grief. By old losses, as they get older, we'll realize that children that suffer with a lot of depression or young adults that suffer with depression, we find out later that their parents in some way or another abandoned them, whether it be a mother that worked all the time and the child would be in the cradle, in the crib crying, and mom never came to the child to pick up the baby, to comfort the baby. Sometimes it's fear. Abandonment has so many different faces. Those types of feelings of abandonment often trigger, if you will, or layer this precursor for alienation and for people underlying with this type of these issues to feel they just have no place.
And I feel like in a lot of times in society and stuff, what we really do, and we really do a lot, and we talked this about before, is that we really just dwell on the symptoms that, we're dealing with. Whether it be alcoholism or drug abuse, divorce, all the symptoms. But as you're just saying, that usually you can trace these things back to a certain period in time where abandonment happened in this person and it broke them. And just like I had said before, it distorted their whole view of who they are, their self-worth, the way God sees them, the way society sees them, and then filtering through everything through this physical abandonment spread or spew their pain. And, and it goes on and on and on, because the last time we spoke, we talked a lot about generational curses, those type of things. So, these kind of things lead to those generational
And then to add on to that, and you're absolutely dead on, because oftentimes abandonment is a generational curse. When we find in our society that there's a mother or father that's abandoned a child, if we dig in that family's history, we'll find that he or she was also abandoned by their mother or father. Abandonment sometimes takes on the form of self-sabotage. So people... One physical act, and we're talking about the physical aspect of it.
Yolanda, can I just hold on for a second? We're just talking real to you right here, because, we're not talking about something we don't know about.
That's right.
Or we haven't been through.
That's right.
And so, as we're talking to you, I want you to go through, and I want you, it's painful, I know. We both know. We've been through this. We've both suffered abandonment issues in different ways. I think we've covered the gamut probably between the both of us. But I want you to really, I know it hurts, but I want you to look inside yourself and see where you can pinpoint this place where you've experienced this physical abandonment, and go back, into your family and into your past. And also, if this might be a little painful for you to deal with right at this point, get the book. Because the book, the Ishmael syndrome, really, Yolanda, you do a phenomenal job of helping people to walk through this, through your own personal testimony and your own pain. I appreciate you sharing that, because your transparency is going to heal so many people, because these are things that we're not talking about.